Are we back to the time I was about to say? Musa D, Side Rally Smoke Squad in the bill. I was about to say what's going on, man. We back to my alerts not going out. Trying to see what's going on. Trying to see what's going on out there. What's going on? The martial law. What level they up to out there? Out here they still it's relaxed. Like I seen some stuff on the news or whatever, but I've been on the streets every day. So far, I haven't really noticed nothing different. Word 60 said essential personnel only. Motherland Gardens, Arkansas in the house. Arkansas? Grand Elevation said he had today off, got a lot done around the rest. Wazoo. Yeah, see my alerts is going out again. Fly phrase. Yeah, we got all the people in here. Father you, Irizeri. Yeah, we haven't seen the guy in a minute, man. Peace, God, science, man. You know, we come in here, man, discuss what's going on, man. You know, but you know, we get into the business. I'm back in the. We gotta get back in that kind of flow. You know what I'm saying? Great Elevation said it's the first time. He said this is the first time he got an alert in a week and a half. That's something, man. He said Cream City is looking quiet at the moment, but the bodies keep popping up. Now, when you say the bodies, you mean in the streets, or you saying they keep saying that people is passing away from the from the Guinness Stout? So we gotta use euphemistic terms. That's one of my theories. You see, we started talking about certain things, and all of a sudden my alerts wasn't going out. District 120. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Streets more. See, you know what I'm noticing is that, look. See, when you in the hood, right? You don't really Father you said Saudi St. Louis on lockdown. Yo, I be hearing there's a lot of funny stuff be going on out there in St. Louis. Like even I was hearing that it was a lot of stuff when they was having those protests out there, that there was a lot of stuff that happened that didn't make the national media. But that, you know, you gotta watch yourself in St. Louis. Wazoo, yeah, that beat. Look, I'm about to lace that up. Who? Wazoo, wasn't you the person that gave me the title? Who was the person that gave me the title? King Crush. Yeah, that's for King Crush right there. But yeah, we got some of the heavy hitters in here right now, right? And so, you know, I want everybody to consider that question that I put in the question that I put in the title. what's the name of the place where God makes himself born? See, that's what you gotta consider, man, when you looking at these lessons, man, you really drawing them up. Because we not making the devil, are we? We not making the devil. That's not what we using the wisdom of God to do. We not using the wisdom of God to make the devil, right? Or devilishment born. So, yeah, what kind of answers we got that y'all? Word 60 said, in the mind manifest, in the womb of the earth born, or just overall in the universe. Daniel Addison. Yeah, my alert's going out. We got the old timers. Daniel Addison. Mostly everybody that's in here right now, y'all, this is like the first team right here, man, what I started off with. When I said get like 10 viewers. Oh yeah, Daniel Addison, everybody's on his fast. This day one. Daniel Addison doing his thing. And he be ready to receive the math. Knowledge of law, peace. We got good. Daniel Addison said God is born in the mind. What else we got there? Drinking sour. I don't even, I heard of it before, but I never had that. I don't know what it is. Any other answers out there? Knowledge of law, yeah, right now the question in the room is, what was the name of the place where God makes himself born? Bringing Elevation said God is born in the mind and also in the minds of the babies we teach. Daniel Addison said through his ways and actions that he possesses that supreme power and will of Allah. District 120. Yeah, we in District 120, Now look, District 120. I was thinking about you when I worked with the Swans. Like, something about District 120, one thing you gotta realize is that, see, we got the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? So we don't have to rack our brains to see what a science is. Brilliant Elevation said the place is the planet Earth. Knowledge of Allah said God is born in the mind. While you said where you stand and what is that you are doing at that place and time to be born, one true self in his proper order. I like these answers. But just a little sidebar making my point is that, see, we have the knowledge and understanding, so a lot of times we don't have to rack our brains to come up with answers. to what something means or what something is, man. You understand what I mean? Because see, that's the beautiful part about having this knowledge, right? And the way we teach, 100% completely. Smell good, said peace. God is born everywhere he is. Right now, Southern Maryland is what they call it. We're gonna bring all this home. To get back to what I'm saying is this, man. See, the beautiful thing about the way we teach completely, you understand what I'm saying? And what we tell you about who you are and what your power is to do, right? Is that we get to skip all those steps. There's no Masonic science in this. It ain't like, yo, you gotta figure out what people did all these years ago. Everything that Allah did the knowledge to, right? Up until 1964, he took the best part of that and hit the babies off with it. You see what I'm saying? So he actually skipped us over all those years. You see what I'm saying? For a person like me, who's like, okay, I got the knowledge and knowledge power, right? You know, by knowledge equality, I could be out here building with grown men and dropping the science on them where they sitting there like, man, you understand what I'm saying? Or like the brother Joe Thornton that was saying that he knew me from back in the early 90s. He had met me on Fordham Road. He said when he met me the first time, he doing what he was doing. I just walked up and started building with him about the Build a Destroy degree and they wanted to afford it. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and you know, I don't know if that happened that particular time, but when I used to go on Fordham Road, traffic used to stop. That was the beauty of the knowledge and wisdom that I was receiving, that people, you know, it was a marvel that, yo, who's this little kid and how does he know these things that he's saying? Allah skipped me over all those at least in terms of the mentality. Yeah, there's still things that I had to go through in all those ages, right? To learn the full reality of what some things mean. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning like somebody could teach you about babies and having babies, right? But you gotta have babies to see the full reality. You know what I'm saying? Allah, love, peace. To see the full reality of what somebody was trying to tell you. You know what I mean? Or even, you know, it might even be things that your parents was telling you. And you can't see the full reality until you get to that stage of life. And then when you live it out, you see the full reality of it. But in terms of analyzing knowledge and wisdom, we got the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. We ain't got to rack our brains going over the river and through the woods, man. You know, twist our brain cells all up, turn ourselves into a pretzel to try to explain reality. You see what I'm saying? Because we've already seen beyond what things appear to be, and we dealing with supreme knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, sometimes, you know, and even that, sometimes when you find yourself racking your brain for the answer, right? You know what that means? You don't have all the knowledge. You don't have all the facts you need to make an informed decision. So you end up racking your brain trying to come up with an understanding when the reality is you don't have the information, you don't have the knowledge and the facts that you need. You see what I'm saying? So then you end up in your explanation and what you're trying to explain, you end up with an explanation that you can't show and prove because it was already based on a situation that was lacking facts. So that's just a little, you know, message to you that sometimes be easy on yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not, you can't understand everything today. You know what I'm saying? If you go out and get a black woman, you're not gonna, have a baby, that graduated from college and knows 120 and is built. You understand what I'm saying? Like, first, you got to develop an understanding with this wizard mentally. Then she got to get pregnant. Then that got to take 9 months. And then the baby got to take, 20 years to get to the stuff what I said. So understanding grows in time. You understand what I'm saying? Right now, when you hear me building, that's the final, not the final, because I'm not getting ready to die. But I'm saying now you looking at something that started, 35 years ago. So yeah, now, after that period of time, you should know. I should have something to say. But listen, understanding is constantly growing. And see, listen, the same way I said, if you once you get to the point where you feel like you can't learn no more, you might as well go ahead and die. Once you come to the point where you can't deal with growth and development no more, you can't develop no understanding, you can't born no understanding, then the planet Earth is not for you. You need to go on the next plane. But now getting back to what everybody was saying, I liked all y'all answers. You understand what I'm saying? And what I'll add on to what y'all said, right, is Mecca is where you make it. See, God made himself born on the planet Earth, right? Which is the home of our God. It was made for that purpose. You understand what I'm saying? That's where the knowledge and wisdom of the original man started when the planet was first found, right? And see, that was the answer that all of y'all gave. The brother who said right now is Southern Maryland. Brothers who say God is born in the mind. God is born when we teach the babies.
Praise.
See, all those things which I said, it wasn't just about a place. It was about what y'all manifested in that place. See, because look, before the devil was made, Peter was something else. See, John told you he was there for something else. For the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. So it depends on what you was doing and what was the outcome of that. See, all of y'all said that, listen, the main thing about making God born is that God is on the set making knowledge born. As long as God is there making knowledge born. See, yeah, we know a law school is the building right there. I'll be there. But see, a law school is anywhere where somebody got the knowledge of themselves and they not scared to speak up on it, then that's a law school is in session.
No, I don't even remember that.
You see what I'm saying? So see, that's what Yaqub did when he went to Pelon, the same as Patmos, because it came from his what? Determined idea that was in his mind, like brothers were saying, God is born in the mind. So the devil first had to be born from what? An idea as well. Smell Good said different things going on at that place. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? It's like with anything else. right? You could go to school, right, and only get caught up. You could go to school, right, and only get the nothing that the devil was giving you. It's people that walked out of there, was there the whole time, they ain't learned nothing of value to themselves. They just learn all the fine intricacies. They learn all the fine intricacies, right, of being a slave on just a higher level. And then some people, you know what I'm saying, they go there and they know what they're in there for, and they get the information, right? They get the knowledge that enables them to move throughout society on all levels. That's what they do over there at the education. Because see, you can learn all that stuff on your own. But over there, they're going to give you a paper that says, okay, boom, he's qualified to move through these different levels of society. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, look, this is what I teach my babies when I send them to school. That's what you're going over there for. Because I got the knowledge right here. Brilliant Elevation said, what does a Aegean mean? We wouldn't happen to have Asiatic mathematics in here right now, would we? You know, Asiatic mathematics, he's the definition guy in New Black World Order is a designated mathematician. That's my brothers right there. You know, they keep me on my toes. Who was it? Somebody sent me some numbers yesterday too, man. Well, I was like, man, look, they made me have to cut everything off. They made me have to cut everything off so I could really focus in on the numbers what they were saying. You know, like I said, you know, there's some things that's, you know, me getting knowledge at an early age, I was trying to simplify all the complex things that, you know, I'm reading Cypher guy is grown men here. So I gotta simplify all of this down to something that a 15, 16, 17-year-old can understand. So I'm used to, when I go through the understanding, when I explain something, things get simpler and not more complex. But we get into this question right here. What does Aegean mean? You know, this is why knowledge is infinite right here, because you know that never occurred to me to wonder what Aegean means. Like, I know what the Aegean Sea is, and I know where it's located. It's located between Greece and Asia Minor. It's a part of the Mediterranean Sea to the east of Greece and to the west of Turkey. You know, so I understood it from a geographical standpoint. Right now I got the laptop is over there, you know, sometimes I Google things, but somebody out there, if y'all get a chance to if y'all could do that for me, right? Google, what does the Greek word Aegean mean? I don't know what the actual word means. You know, when I went through my lessons word by word, I didn't really separate Aegean from sea. But this is a valid question right here. Is anybody out there have the answer to that? And then we can draw that up. Anyone? Bueller? See, if Asiatic mathematics, he then gave us like 18 definitions. So Aegean means after Athens. Aegean means the king of Athens. Wise you said adjective relating to the arm of the Mediterranean Sea east of Greece. Okay, now that's the definition that I gave. That's the one I'm familiar with. So District 120, you saying that Aegeus is like the root of Aegean? And does Aegis mean king? King? Smell goods, pretty much defined the way I define it, that area or dealing with that area or dealing with that area of the sea. District 120 said King Minos of Crete ordered to punish the Athenians who had killed his son Androgio. Or relating to the chiefly Bronze Age civilization of the islands of the Aegean Sea and the countries adjacent to it. It's named after King Aegeus. And King Aegeus was the king of where? Or are you saying that is King Aegeus another name for King Minos? Julie TV, what's going on? So Aegeus was the king of Athens, and then what, he had a static with King Minos, and then that happened? Yeah, word 60, that's what I found too. Geographical. I didn't even find the demographical. You know, my research brought me to the geographical. But apparently there's some ancient Greek myth that's also surrounding this. You know what I'm saying? And within those myths is some wisdom and understanding. I'm not going to say it's supreme knowledge, but there is some wisdom and understanding if you're able to draw up those stories for what they mean. District 120 said, District 120 said, according to Greek mythology, the Aegean Sea owes its name to the king of Athens, Aegeus, King Minos of Crete, in order to punish the Athenians who had killed his son Androgio, declared war and won. Okay. See, these names right here, you gotta look at these names too.
Androgio.
Yeah, androgeo. That's the name, right? Because we know geo means earth, right? And andro, that means like no sex.
That's what I'm saying. Sound like he was doing
Like androgynous. Androgeo, yeah. And you know, in the Creeks, you know, that's where the Minotaur, the bull, and all of that stuff is related to. That's why I say we gotta look at the story, and then I look at it, and then I can draw it up for you. But I don't know the story. Why, as you said, Latin, aegeus, borrowed from Greek, aigaios. Now that's another thing about that name, is that I kind of see the word Gaia in the name of the king from Athens, and we know Gaia, that also means earth. So I mean, we got we got a couple things on that. So what was the bringing elevation who asked that question? You know, what was the where was we going with that question? Hold on, let me for my battery. My battery. Why, as you said, first known use of Aegean was in 1513. Brilliant Elevation said, I was just drawing up island as the place where I land. Trying to draw what you gotta do, but it doesn't appear from the definitions that we saw so far that, you know, it has much significance outside of that story. Like, we would have to look at that story, right, and see all the elements of it, right, to see what it means. See, like yesterday, True Self said, looks like we have a historic geography class. Well, you know, I guess, yeah, we go through the different topics. Brilliant Elevation said, I came across the Greek stuff and also the Aegean coming from a word for wave or waves. But you know, those Greek stories, you know, you got to know the whole science, because, you know, for the most part, they speaking on something. You know what I'm saying? And you know, whatever the things that they speaking on, you know, you got to look at the story in its totality. Like, for instance, yesterday, somebody was bringing up the point that Zeus killed his father for control, right? But the story that they're relaying to you, right, about Zeus killing his father is not about Zeus. That story goes with something called the Kronos complex. Has anyone heard of the Kronos complex? Anyone? Bueller? Maybe not. The Kronos complex, right, is when you don't want anybody to come after you because they might surpass you. That's the Kronos. Remember, Kronos is the root. Building Elevation said it's a book by Michelle Bradley. I don't know about that book, but I'm talking about the story in mythology, right? No, not castration complex. Kronos complex. Kronos means time. So you don't want people to come after you that might be greater than you and surpass you, right? So in this story, Kronos kept eating all of his children. He kept eating all of his children because he didn't want any of them to surpass him and be greater than him, because Kronos had killed his father to become the king of the gods. So because he didn't want any of his kids to surpass them, he was eating them. So eventually, Zeus's mother, when she had Zeus, she gave Kronos a stone wrapped in baby's clothes. Kronos eats the stone not knowing, right? Zeus ends up growing to full age, right? And then remember, in the story, he has some other brothers and sisters, right? The Titans. Remember, he had to go get the Titans. They was his kids too. Kronos had buried them under the ground or something of that nature. He had buried them under the ground so that they wouldn't take him out. And then Zeus went and got the Titans, came back, right? And somehow he gave Kronos some kind of substance and caused Kronos to vomit up the other brothers and sisters. And then together, they took out Kronos. And that's how Zeus became the king of the Greek gods. So the story is telling you, you know what I'm saying? The story of Zeus is telling you about the everyday occurrence that we see, right? When, you know, the old is not letting the young shine. You understand what I'm saying? When any situation where you see, that's the lesson of the Kronos complex. When you see somebody holding on to the crown too long. You see what I'm saying? When we dealing with our signs, when we say the babies is the greatest, you know, when we actually teach people that, listen, you're supposed to rise above me because the understanding is the best part. So just saying that's why you can't just take a little piece of those Greek stories, right, and think you're going to get the whole understanding. You got to know the story, and you got to know the ideas that's behind the stories and the ideas that's behind the characters so you can draw it all the way up. What's the deal out there too? Shout out to anybody that's out there on Facebook. D Christian, what's going on? Shout out to anybody that's out there on Facebook because I don't get to holler at y'all directly too much, but okay, District 120 has something to add on to the Aegeus story. According to Diodorus Siculus, Aegeus killed Androgeus out of fear that the latter would support the sons of Pallas against him. So this is like some this is some of that royal family intrigue and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm just sitting here in the pocket. S. Reeves, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just sitting here in the pocket, D. Christian. You know what I mean? We had a couple of discussions. You know, right now we're just finishing up a topic where a brother asked what the word Aegean means. You know what I'm saying? And we finding out that it's connected with Greek mythology. See, in almost all that Greek history is kind of mythology. Not saying it's not true, but see, the Greeks lost their history. Like the Olympics, the history of it is in Greece. But they stopped having the Olympics for thousands of years. The first modern Olympics was in 1896. The Greeks' history was preserved by in Asia Minor. God Cypher Divine. What's going on? Asiatic mathematics, you missed it. Brilliant Elevation said, how about Sea of Genes? Daniel Addison said Diodorus is mentioned in the Bible. As Reeves said, Kronos equals Saturn, but that's in the Roman world. District 120 said in another version, Aegeus, king of Athens, sent him against the Marathonian bull, which resulted in Androgeos' death. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You know, you got, versions upon versions. But that's one of the reasons for that. Is because, like I'm telling you, the Greeks lost their history. I don't want to, those are our righteous brothers and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But look, the NOI, they lost 120 lessons. They had to get it back from us. Well, they ain't lose it. Warb Dean threw it in the garbage, from what I heard. He threw them outside in the regular garbage. So just saying that to say that, we don't want to take this Greek mythology history, we don't want to get back in the was Yakub a real person or not? Because see, if we start dealing with that with this Greek history, we're gonna find out that the same things applies. All these people is not necessarily real people. Or we don't know if they are or not. But to all the new brothers that came in the room, right? What are y'all thoughts on the title of the video, the question that's in the title of the video? What are y'all thoughts on that? D Christian said, pardon me with my 666 entertainment. We're gonna let your live stream flow with proper notifications and limited buffering. Yeah, you gotta cut. You know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I gotta stay in the pocket. But look, I could tell my alerts is going out today because I got a lot of old schoolers in here that I haven't seen in a minute. Plus, right now, so I'm almost 700. How much I got now? Like 680. I'm almost 700, man. God that too. See what I'm saying? And you know, it's wisdom God. I got about God that too. See how that works? Yeah, that's what I say, man. So we start taking back to the math. But 679. That's a good number. Asiatic mathematics said P-Lon to me sounds kind of like P-Now, as in P-Now system, and I associate that with penology, and the devil did build prison houses. What is penology? God Cyber Divine. Yeah, I was waiting on the answer for God Cyber Divine. He said, in my opinion, God makes himself. You see, now this is very intricate how you say this. God is not made. So you probably left out the word born, but like I said, see, God makes himself born. But yeah, we're waiting for the definition of penology from Asiatic mathematics, and then we're gonna get into the science of that. So Asiatic mathematics said penology is the science of prisons and the effect or impact it has on people. Okay. All right, now, Asiatic mathematics, what degrees you knowledge? All right, God, Cyber Divine. We're going to get back into that, God, Cyber Divine, but I'm going to tell you that, you know, you got a good reason to go back and watch the beginning of this video, because I answered the question in depth before. You know, but before we get back into that, we're going to deal with this science Asiatic mathematics is talking about. You want to understanding knowledge degree and the knowledge of code cipher. So then, you know, where it says, I John, who also am your brother and companion in the kingdom and patience of Jesus Christ, was in the isle that is called Patmos for the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ. Does anybody know what that means when he said he was in the isle that was called Patmos for the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ? Does anybody have, you know, any background on, you know, what he was referring to? What is the context of that statement? Anyone? Bueller? the Christian said he was locked up during that time and was in prison for teaching the teachings of Christ. You got that, Asiatic mathematics? Asiatic mathematics said, me associating Pelon with P-Now and the island of Patmos to me sounds like Rikers Island or Alcatraz. From my understanding, he was exiled there, but I'm not too sure. I'd have to go back to the scripture. But see, now that you got that part, Asiatic mathematics, listen, don't get caught up with the words. Thinking that, because look, this is something I'm telling you. Pelon is a Greek word, or, actually, now I think about it, I don't know what kind of word, because Pelon, but, this is an ancient word, and P-Now institution is a more modern word that has a whole different root and not necessarily the same meanings. But I'm just showing you how it does coincide. District 120 said, but he was not locked up because he could move around and freely document, right? Now listen, now we dealing with what is the definition of being locked up. See, what's worse, being locked in or being locked out?
It's 7 o'clock.
District 120 said it's worse being locked in, right? See, when you locked in, you still locked in within the society. But when you locked out, and you can no longer receive the benefits of this social order that we dealing with, that was the idea of what you did when somebody did something wrong. See, because one thing about locking people in, right? Society's got to be locked in with them. In order for them to put you in jail, right, they got to have COs. And even though those COs go home at night, you in jail too. You still got to live according to the prison rules too. Maybe not the same exact ones, but when you come in to the jail, they checking your belongings too. You're not getting shipped down like the inmates. But I'm saying, as a society, when we decide that, that's why we say, okay, is it really justice or is it revenge? See, that's something I always wondered about a CEO. Like, yo, you know, your job is to come here and just watch people suffer. Like, they're still locked up. Listen, you an inmate, you get stabbed, you get punched in your face, or same thing happened to the CEO. And it does happen. So this is a new concept of locking people up. T. Christian says, shout out to all the corrupted CEOs who let contraband slide. Daniel Addison said you can still maneuver around being locked out, right? But we dealing with time as well. Time in place. Meaning that now, right? Daniel Addison, you know, let's say even in terms of families, right? Now, if your family exiles you, you can go live other places. Mostly because of the government. You know what I'm saying? God Cypher Devon said my pops always tried to get me to become a CEO. I was like, nah, I don't want to be in prison all day. I'm locked up too. Where's Juan? You know what I'm saying? But now you can mostly live because of the government has an infrastructure out there. But see, before the 1800s, if your family exiled you, that's a possible death sentence right there. Daniel Addison said, my old dad, I heard, was a retired cop too. Never even met him either. Like, see, let me give you an example. Let's say, you know, right now you got some people, they live in the African village. And the village said, yo, son, you can't be around here. You exiled. Now, here's the thing. You ain't going to just like, okay, I can just take the train over to my... Nah. You're going to have to walk past lions and hyenas. It's just a different proposition. See, in that situation, you would rather them lock you in. See, when you out there, and yo, what that means is no, you don't have access to the fields. Over here, where we pick our stuff at, where we pick our apples, if we catch you over there, it's gonna be drama. See, listen, people tell you, look, when you in, you can lean on the state. Jasim said I should just do the knowledge. I was thinking something totally different. Locked in or out, either way, people in both positions are under control. Key was equating to freedom to come and go. Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. Sometimes, right, when it said he likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing, right? Sometimes we don't realize the level, because that's something about convenience. Convenience is something that makes things easier. So you don't look at the hardship of it. But at one time, civilization was here with your family. To be exiled, to be separated from the foundation of your existence. See, that's what I'm saying. We in America, where we've been taught this independent thing. But see, like once upon a time, right? Probably still to this day. You know what I'm saying? It's known that there's certain women, right? That, you know, if they not from America, they from maybe Mexico, certain parts of Asia. If they family tells them not to deal with a certain type of dude, they not going to deal with that dude. Because exile from the family is death. people getting locked up in jail is a new concept. It's a new European concept. It's something called the Pennsylvania system. The penitentiaries is based on some jail that was in Pennsylvania, like in the very late 1700s or very early 1800s. D. Christian said, in the interior cipher, there's different rules and regulations. It sounds fly what you're saying, but things run differently in hell. Books can be called contraband in hell. Who, District 120 said he did get his head cut off. Who talking about, John? So Brilliant Elevation is saying this jail that I'm talking about was in Philly. That's what it looks like, what he's saying. God Savvy Devon says, so being exiled from the family is being locked out. No, see, do knowledge. Does anybody know the definition of hell? Not the image that we get of hell. Not the image that we get of hell from Dante's Inferno, but what is the definition of hell? See, now y'all going into the different genres. Come on, man, let's stay on topic. Asiatic mathematics is in here, so it shouldn't take us too long. It shouldn't take us too long to get the definition because we got Asiatic mathematics on the case. Where's my 10% female viewership too, man? Julia TV said the first jail in America to house felons was the Walnut Street Jail in Philadelphia. God by Asiatic mathematics said corruption means to act dishonestly for money or to gain something. I don't advocate in any shape, form, or fashion. That Walnut Street Jail, I don't think is what I'm talking about is the state penitentiary system. It's based on something called a Pennsylvania system. I do know about this Walnut Street Jail, but I don't think that's the jail that is based on. Remember, penitentiary, it comes from the word penitence. So like the first penitentiary was like solitary confinement, you know what I mean? It was no talking. It was a lot of, Eastern Pennsylvania State. That's it. That's it. Brilliant Elevation, that's the one I'm talking about. S. Reeves said, I learned by listening to Papa Wu that hell is what you go through. District 120 said, hell is the experience one undergoes. I'm waiting for Asiatic mathematics because I think he's going to nail this one for us. D. Christian said, hell equals the abode of the dead in ancient tradition, the underworld, also a place or a situation of evil. Daniel Addison says, state of mind. True self is state of great suffering or unbearable experience. Walnut Street was built in 1790 by Quakers. Helios. Not sure why Helios is coming in. Are you saying that Helios is hell? Don't Helios mean the sun? Hell is also torment or anguish. Love said, how y'all see the greeting of hello? Brilliant Elevation said, Fairmont, Philadelphia is what? That's where the Eastern State was built? All right. We're going to go into the science like this, right? When we dealing with these, all right, exact mathematics, what I was waiting on. Says, I see hell as he or her dealing with inequality on a lower level. Now, when we deal with these biblical type of stories, right, where we get these concepts of heaven and hell, right? Adam was placed in the Garden of Eden. He was placed in paradise. No hell there, right? He became subject to go to hell when he turned away from God. See, all those things which I described is separation from God. See, all those things you saying, the conditions and all of this stuff, this happens when after Adam turned away from God. See, a lot of these other ideas about how much suffering and all of that we're going to achieve, this is ideas that come from Dante in Dante's Inferno. What is this you put right here, Daniel Addison? Genesis 3:24. Right. See, look, to cover, conceal, cave. All these things is to be separated. To be separated from the very source of your life and existence is to be in hell. Remember, there was none of that in the Garden of Eden, right? Because everything is still based on this connection of everybody, right? Without getting into all the intricacies, right? Adam was made from an idea, right? From God, from his image. And Eve was made from the rib. So everything is connected. You know what I'm saying? Listen. What happened with what's my man's name? Adam and Eve son. Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel, right? I always get that mixed up. Of all the things, I don't know why that is. My whole life, I always had to ask, Cain kill Abel, right? But yeah, and then what happened to him? Did he get locked in or locked out? See, if this is really Mecca, this is the best part, right? Then the worst thing that can happen is you get locked out. See, because then you're dealing with your own torment. If I lock you in, I have to torment you. And then what does that make me? So that's why I said it depends on the time. Like right now, we living in a time where without your family, you could exist. But what I'm saying, in the 1800s, You can't run a farm by yourself. Smell Good said, Kane, Minister Society helps me to remember which one is. Oh man, I ain't gonna front. You know what's my line in that movie? Nah, homie, I don't think you know me. Oh man. Hey, listen, man. Let's not get sidetracked though. You see what I'm saying? But we sitting here with the best part. I don't have no time to be tormenting an individual. So I'd rather lock you out. See, that's why I say, listen, when we find out that a person is negative, right? We find out that, yo, man, listen, man, we can't do what you doing. You can't do what we doing, right? What do we do? What do the Build and Destroy degree in the 1 to 14 tell us we do when we find out that somebody's negative? Do we lock them in or do we lock them out? Just in your general everyday business, what do? Lock somebody in or do you lock them out? Josh Sim said I must be late on. Yeah, we done flipped through some topics. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, right, Daniel Addison hit something else on the head. We put the devil out on the worst part and kept the best part preserved for ourselves. That's what I'm saying. If you look at the lessons, it don't tell you, listen, either you get sent back or you get ran out. But we ain't got no time. Like, dude, I got my babies I got to deal with. I got no time to be torturing you. Like, if it's somebody you know they negative, right? You know they negative, like that person stole from you before. That person stole from you before in your personal life. Do you lock them in your house or do you lock them out? I'm just saying that the concept of locking people up in jail is a new one. Like the brother said, the Walnut Street Jail that was built in 1790 was the first time where they had this category of people called felons that they was locking up. Because to be outside of civilization meant death. Because like I said, you can have all this land. You can have all this land, but see, in order to farm, you need a whole family, extended family unit. In order to, when you out there, listen, in New York, police is only from 1845. The NYPD that you see, they're only from 1845. So see, in 1800, when we locked you out, yeah, the wolves is out there, son. And if you're not one of them, you're going to get got. Before that, people tried to keep the criminals and stay on the outside. Don't come around us. Like that's why I see Robin Hood, when you hear them stories of crime, they not in the cities, they out on the road hijacking. And you don't have the police to depend on to protect you. You got to depend, like look, right now, if you go places like Afghanistan, son, it's all about the family clan. See, like right now, right? Let's think about in Africa, right? And how many tribes is out there that have eternal beef? And then imagine we exile you, son. Daniel Addison said, look what they doing now. Rikers Island letting criminals out with low-level crimes. Listen, Cook County's letting them out. LA County's letting them out. I never thought I'd see that day, but yeah. They releasing inmates, God. Smell good, so I used to watch Tom Sawyer. What's Tom Sawyer? Danny Addison said, do I think that's the reason? No, they're letting people out because there's a cost to you to keep somebody locked in. To run somebody from amongst you, there's not the same amount of cost involved with that. Fly Phrase said they breaking out of LA County. Cats didn't escape. Daniel Addison, not just the taxpayer, but also those COs that have to go in there. And then look, those COs, they still out in the rest of the community, man. Oh, that Tom Sawyer. You took him out Tom's Cabin. True TV says a video of a guy jumping the fence. That's all they got? you can jump the fence? Wait a minute, hold up. You could jump a fence and escape LA County? Fly Fraser says it's a video with mad inmates jump the fence and jetted. That's wild, son. Wait, you just jumped one fence and where you at? You in LA County? We jumped the fence. And I'm saying, where you at when you jumped the fence? Like you in South Central already? You just blend in? Smell Cuz said, little kid living in the wild in North America with his pop and an escaped Indian Joe. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Fly Phrase said 20 running barefoot down the street. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, where you go? Like, how you, see, look, if you escaping Rikers Island, you still got a little couple barriers to cross there before you touching the streets. You got a couple of little barriers to cross, man. But you just come out of LA County, I'm saying, where you at? Beverly Hills? Where's, I don't understand. And they still on the streets? They caught them yet? Do they even have the manpower to go find them? Smell Good said Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. You know, oddly enough, I'm not, I read those books when I was small, but I'm not all that familiar with those books. Fly Phrase said they was right in some neighborhood. Oh, they all got caught except for 2. Oh, you saying Huckleberry Finn was a castaway from society? Oh, I see what you're saying, that aspect of it. Look, if you got that type of supreme knowledge like that where you can survive out there, D. Christian said, I thought they've been releasing people due to the Guinness. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, now ain't even the time. Like, right now, I mean, maybe these people, maybe they in there on some serious like that, you know what I mean? Where they, cause I'm like, yo, look, you know, right now they letting cats out. I don't want to rock the boat, right? You know what I'm saying? If they just letting cats out. Yeah, hey, man. But that's wild, man. But see, it just goes to show you. See, now look, Jasim, that's what I was saying. That's another level of the game. Like, see, I got you locked in, and then you escape. Now I got to catch you. See, if I lock you out, that's it. We done. Unless I catch you back over here. See, you know what it's more like? In fact, y'all brought up LA, right? Y'all brought up LA. When 20 said they think they being let out, they said they don't want to cause an outbreak behind bars. But y'all brought up LA, right? So we're going to talk about this locked in versus locked out concept in the context of the LA streets, right? Whichever side you want. Let's say you blood, let's say you Crip. Saying, once we exile you, if something happens and we say, nah, son, you ain't on the set no more, what is all the other sets getting ready to do? Like, as that person, would you rather them do something in-house where they like, yo, son, you gotta take a beat down for that though, son. What you did, that wasn't right. Or would you rather them throw you to the other sets? D. Christian said, you fool. Is food, I don't know if food is an LA term. I think that's the New York term, ain't it? But I don't know. I ain't involved. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference between being, I'm saying that it makes a difference how close we are to life and death. In our existence that we exist in. See, right now, we far away from death. Meaning like this. You know, some of y'all are probably vegan, right? Different people, you know, you eat different foods. Listen, there's a risk in going out to hunt for food. There's a risk in going out there. Just the same way you out there hunting, it's other animals out there hunting too. Like you going out to find a chicken, and a lion is going out to find something to eat too. So in an existence like that, you know what I'm saying? Having somebody that, all right, you know this person's watching your back. Oh, snap, what's that over there? You understand what I'm saying? You know, Smell Good said, well, universally speaking, you about to catch it. But I'm saying that's the difference in how because we live in a modern society. Like, remember I was saying about how in the 1600s, the 1700s, they could only get the black man, right, to do certain levels of the labor. So they had to deal with us. But now they got technology where they got a machine that could do the work of 20 or 50 slaves or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? So when you dealing with a situation where the technology and the society is really how people are surviving. And see, part of that is because, like I said, the technology and all of that being how you surviving, then the white man becomes your daddy. See, like Yakub is the father of the devil. And like I said, they didn't tell the father nothing about what they did with his baby, why it died. Why it died. They only told the mother because Yaqub is your daddy. So when you in a situation where Yaqub is your daddy, then you can say, yeah, man, forget about my family. But when you in a situation where we all we got, then son, being locked out is worse than being locked in. D. Christian has said it, look, so now that's a form of being locked out of economics if the machines replace man. Look, we ain't got to go that far. You just hit another perfect example of a situation that we are locked out. Like if we could be on the inside of the 1% in any way, like if you was the 99th percentile of the 1%, the 1% just say, yo, you know what? We ain't gonna hit you with that 50 billion though. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have like 1 or 2 billion and that's it. That would be infinitely better than the locked out that we achieving right now. I'm just saying that, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying being locked up is bad. And I understand, look, see, if you really look, and I'm telling you that thing. You know one thing I hated? A couple times one thing I hated is when they locked me out of my cell. I didn't like that. Because I got stuff in there I need to have access to at all times. But like I said, you know, if you experience being locked in, then you like, yeah, I can't really see how, like, you know. But it's what, you know, the meaning of being locked in and locked out has changed in the modern society. You know what I'm saying? What it means to be disconnected from your family is a different kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, where, you know, public shame, that means something. Public shame means something in other cultures. See, it don't mean nothing here because it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like if your parents is disappointed in how you know what I'm saying, did whatever, it don't matter. But if you in a place where all we got for survival, and also remember, don't just look at being locked in and locked out in terms of you being locked in jail or locked out of jail. That's not what you're getting locked out of. What you're getting locked out of is the best part. But all of that changed when it became a way to make money off of locking people in. See, it became a thing where, look, we just try and teach you a reason. We try and teach you a lesson. Smell good said, I'm loving this for that reason. What's the reason, huh? D. Christian said, I think this is a time. Oh man, your what's the name went through quick. God's Cyber Divine said, I told you before my wisdom is Dominican. When she got pregnant with my son, her mom's kicked her out the house like she brought shame to her family. Right. But see, because you was like, you know what I'm saying? And then she was able to trust the truth in you understand what I mean? Then she still reflected your light. But that's what I'm saying. In you know, in cultures where all we got, this is the best part of everything right here. Then being locked out is the worst thing. See, like, look at the class. Now, somebody come to the class, and I get on them in the class, okay, that comes and that goes. But see, when I tell somebody, don't ever come back here, do you see the impact that has on them? Because I'm not locking you out of the worst part. I'm locking you out of the best part. See, like right now, this month, because of the situation, we didn't have the rally. For most of us, that's worse than if we came to the rally and somehow something happened with the door and we got locked in, because at least if you was locked in, we would be with all the gods, all the earths. We want to find a way to get up out of here. Like right now, people just told me like, yo, Saint, you can't be 5 no more, Saint. Like, nah. You can't be 5. I couldn't even, this idea is very strange, first of all. Because like I told your man, I don't know how you gonna have a 5% and I'm not in it. That's crazy. You got a 5% and I ain't in it. Yeah, all right. Smell Good said, you either got it or gotta get it in order to make things happen. When we can't depend on usual things, old regular life, see who and what is real right now, yeah. But see, we live in an existence where everything is not real. You understand what I'm saying? Everything is not real. Like, see, we go to the supermarket, right? And we buy food that we don't have to deal with the reality of how that food got there. Like, we don't gotta go out and kill a chicken, kill a cow, hunt down a goat, whatever you eat. Even vegetables, you ain't got to go out there in that field with the mosquitoes biting. You understand what I'm saying? All the little sharp thorns or whatever, you ain't got to get your fingers pricked by that. You go to the store and buy the finest clothes and they ain't had to do no weaving, no nothing. Like once upon a time when people had a house, right? You and your family built that house. Like when it's time for you to move, you went to got your brothers, your cousins, whoever, the people in the town that your family was close with, they came together, helped you build the house, whatever, you know what I mean? When it was over, your wife cooked dinner, you had some whiskey, and that's how you lived your life. But now, because we in a society where through the capitalism, you can just call up some perfect strangers and they'll come and build your house, then you don't gotta care about your family like that. And I'm saying that's an element of oppression. See, when America was an agrarian society, right? They favored the extended family. You understand what I'm saying? So back then, you seen, 3-4 generations in the same house. The grandparents, the children, the great-grandchildren or whatever. And the more people you had... Whoa, did they cut me? Just got a call from the big bro right there. I gotta hit him back. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna complete this. The more hands that you had to do the work, right? The more prosperous you was gonna be. And the more prosperous you was, the more taxes could be collected. So they favored the extended family. When America became an industrial nation, right? Meaning now I don't want you to have all these obligations to other people. Like now you coming down to the what's the name of the word. See, in the agrarian society, if you mess with one cousin, yeah, we all showing up over there. But see, once you get to the industrial age, I don't need all your family coming up here to beef with me because I told you to do a job you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Smell good said, oh, you talking about making an owner from the time it first starts type of deal with things you make your house, grow your own food, right? When you got to actually do that. See, we living in a society where the Industrial Revolution has separated us from that. So even in a situation like right now, right? How you gonna survive? Do we have the survival skills? If they continue to shut this thing down, can we survive? Do we have the skills? Do you know how to grow your own food? Do you know how to hunt your own meat? Do you know how to prepare it? All these different things, man. Do you know which kind of water you like? You ain't supposed to drink still water. You know what I mean? If you got to go get some water, you're supposed to get running water that's really coming off of rocks. So it don't have as much impurities. You know what I'm saying? See, my grandfather was from down south. And he told me something one time. I was like, man, that's crazy. I didn't know how you know that. But he said water purifies itself every 6 feet. So an animal might have died in the water over there, but if you go at least 6 feet away and you catch the water coming off the rocks, you good. You won't get poisoned. This is what I'm saying, that type of knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Joseph, what's going on? Oh man, Joseph, we be going in. This is a good one. This is one of my best ones right here. You know what I'm saying? Getting back to what I was saying. So now that's the agrarian aspect of it, right? But now when we get to the industrial age, right? Like I said, they don't favor the extended family because at the factory, see in the farm, y'all eat what y'all grow, but see in the factory, I'm not gonna give you money for all these people. However, I still want you to remain a certain amount tame. Like I can't pay you and then you just go drink. I gotta give you some responsibilities, right? So at that time, they favored the nuclear family. Man, woman, children. See what I'm saying? Because we want the man to keep coming over here to the factory to work. So in order to control that, we don't have the women and the babies. So now he, that's his motivation. Now we get to what we in now. We in the information age. Where you only need one person. One person can press a button and it affect everything around the world. Like for instance, look. Did I? Am I back on? All right, I see God save me divine right here. District 120, right? You back? All right, where did I cut off? Where did I cut off? Nah, I didn't press the button, man. That's the Wi-Fi. I don't know what it is. It's something about the way Optimum Wi-Fi works that every blue moon it just cuts you off for no reason. I don't know what that's about. Nah, I didn't press it, man. I was just showing y'all that I could have pressed it. That was something else that happened, and then I had to go log back into my Wi-Fi. But I'm saying, where did I cut off at and what I was saying? So we can get back down to the nitty gritty. Wait, that was the last thing y'all saw when I said I could press the button? Yeah, that probably is when I got cut off. I don't know when I got cut off. But I didn't press the button, though. All right, so we was talking about the information age, and what I was saying is that in the information age, right? I don't know if that part came through, but I was saying in the information age, one person could press a button. Like when I press a button on this phone, I get broadcasted all around the world. I don't need 1,000 people that work for NBC to help me. So that's why now everything is about the individual and the single individual. You see that? You see that true self? You see that true self? What's worse? Locked out or locked in? True self, you for a cat. You know what I'm saying? You know, and see, there's something very important about that, right? There's something very important about that. Due knowledge. The Hatfields and the McCoys. It's just an example. This is not the whole science of it. But I'm going to give you an example with the Hatfields and the McCoys. With the Hatfields and the McCoys, right, their families were so big that the police couldn't stop them. The government couldn't do nothing with them. Their families were so big that people that worked for the police department and that worked in the court was related to them. They cannot have those family clans like that. Even, listen, in Iraq and Afghanistan, where they at over there, a lot of them people they fighting against, those militias, those are family clans and groups of families that have been politicking with each other, intermarrying or whatever for centuries, man. We can't have people, right, that have an allegiance that's beyond what they teaching us in school. See, what they teach us in this society? God, country, and family, right? Or is it God, family, and country? Whatever it is, that's what I'm saying. They showing, you know, if you got some other loyalties, they need to break that down. In order for you to look, when they come to you and say, look, you know, we need you to turn this person over. We need you to turn, look, we came here to get this individual right here. Like out of all of y'all, now we came for that guy. See, when families is too big and too tight-knit, that's impossible. So these things that they deal with the family is methods of control on that very subtle level that I'm talking about throughout the whole society. Not just the breakup of the black family, the breakup of the family in general, the extended family. Where, you know, once upon a time, like even up to the 70s, 80s, man, you had certain blocks where mostly everybody in this block is related somehow or another, man. Like if we not blood related, then your cousin got a baby for my older brother or something. Now, when they come in this block, yeah, it's not the same thing. See, that's part of what gentrification has done. Where before, we used to be, you know, 50 solid square blocks. Nah, not no more. Those 3 square blocks over there, some other people living over there that don't have our, you know, they don't have our same goals, our same interests, and none of that in mind or in heart. So the breakup of the family, that's a government strategy as well about getting money and controlling the people. So just saying, get back to the, you know, tying back into what I was saying is that if that's the situation that you living in, then yeah, be in exile from this cipher where we so powerful that even the police can't stop us. Now, I don't want to get, my alerts. I want my alerts to keep going out, but look, we got to take it there. What if we had that type of power right now? Where you can't shoot one of us down, you understand what I'm saying? You can't chase nobody down and shoot them in their back and then take a gun out your pocket and put it next to them. See, you could do that and then the crowd form and you tell them to disperse. See, now if they're afraid, what you mean disperse? We came here together, we together. Nigga, what you talking about? So, I guess just another lesson, to add on to today's live, you know what I'm saying, was that little bit of trivia about the Hatfield and McCoys, right? And what families mean. Even when you look at the whole science of the 1 in 36, when you look at the whole science of the 1 in 36, that's kind of what it's about. Us being separated from our foundation, from our family. Yes, I mean when it say they were made deaf, dumb, and blind by the devil when they was babies, right? We were separated from our knowledge, from our family, from our fathers, from our mothers, where it's like, look, if my father was a fisherman, I was going to be a fisherman. Now you got me out here in the cotton field. Separated from the knowledge of who we are. Hold on. I'm not the person in this story. I see somebody said right there, we control the narrative. Yeah, I'm not the person in this story that picks the cotton. Whoa, Smell Good said we are all the same. Me and my brother is one. That black and white video. Which video is that? I heard this phraseology that you used here before, but I didn't press the button. See, that's just, y'all get caught up when I put my hand like that. I didn't press the button. See, because, to take it on another level, right? Family is one of those levels on the way to nation. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the person, the individuals, you got the families, the villages or the communities. You understand what I'm saying? It keeps building up through like-minded people until you got a nation of people. It's like the guy always say, the big bro that was just hitting me. See, look, you got a society of men, a group of men. See, a group of men, that's a small amount of people that's for one common cause. A society of men is a big number of people that's for one common cause.
It's 8 o'clock.
So we got any other questions out there? Because I gotta make some donuts. I gotta stay in the booth, man. Stay making my t-shirt. Cause see, I'm not on paper. So they ain't gonna give me. Oh, the 1967 interview. All right, yeah, don't die. All right, yeah, I dumbed out right there. Smell Good. That's my fault. But yeah, like I was just saying, see, I ain't on paper, so I ain't getting no $1,200. I ain't get no $1,200. You know what I'm saying? You know, I ain't getting no boost to none of my other stuff or whatever. So, yeah, I gotta stay on the Grizzly right now. So, y'all be on the lookout. In the next 2 days, there's gonna be some new T-shirt designs dropping. Some new music dropping. Oh yeah, by the way, yo, Joseph, you still on there? Joseph, you could buy stuff in my in the last store I made. You could buy stuff with Bitcoins now. I'm in the loop. As Reeves said, before I watched this show with my wife, I wanted to ask the guy, do you know Supreme Victory a lot in Chicago? Let me see. He said, I got my hat today. Glad you're in the Bitcoin. Yeah, man. Listen, man. Oh, you got your I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The Sons of Almighty God Allah jump off. Yo, they broke your order all up, man. Like, they just started sending you got the coffee mug too, right? All right, I know Elijah Hyde. So look, if he's the student of Elijah Hyde, you know, Elijah Hyde was he's like a young brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know him, you know what I'm saying? But when he was coming to New York, you know, I mean, we was both kids, but I was already a big kid, you know what I mean? Where, you know. But yeah, I know Elijah Hyde. But nah, I don't the other brother you saying, you know, he's from a little bit younger generation. Jasim said if your C's got you on the college app, you getting 1,200. Yeah, they sent the coffee mug out. They sent the coffee mug out, and it was a shirt that you got on the coffee mug site too. They sent those out, and then they sent the hat, and then the other jump offs. They ran out of the champions. The champion shirts that everything is on. So I guess they got to get that stock back in. Then they're gonna. But yeah, everything is on the way. You know what I mean? Everything is green lights. You know what I'm saying? But it's damn lockdown, man. As Reeves said, yeah, I spoke to Supreme for hours on the phone, and he said the cipher was disjointed, but he borned me to how to study. He said, what cipher is disjointed? But yo, Jasim, I gotta check on that, man. Cause you know my daughters do be doing that. I be trying to tell them like, yo, man, don't tell them you know me. They be with my days. Yo, and you know my son, he put a law on his driver's license. I was like, son, you was you wasn't supposed to tell him you know me. Yeah, but I'm gonna check that out, Jason. See if I get 1,200. I got a couple kids in there. So as Reeves said, the C Medina cipher is disjointed. In 2015, that's when you built with him, and he said that? Mm. Um, you know, I'm not as familiar, you know what I'm saying, with the entire Chicago cipher. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I don't really know what the case or what the situation is. You know what I'm saying with that. Some things when you doing the science of the knowledge of God, right? You can't look at the nation and the nation's history in a vacuum. You know what I'm saying? God said this was after I took a pick in front of a law school in 2012, and Born King said there were no gods out here at that time. In Chicago, so like I said, you can't look at the nation's history in a vacuum. It's like the other day, I was saying on one of the lives, right, that New York was groomed for the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? From all the things that was happening, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm X was here, W.B. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, you know what I'm saying? Court was held here, Martin Luther King came. Everybody, they had to come through Harlem, man. The whole Black Renaissance, the Schomburg Library, all these different, John Henry Clark, all these people was in Harlem. So the people was already dealing, in the science. So, that was just the next elevation. So you can't look at the history of the nation in a vacuum outside the context of everything else happening. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what else is the, full situation, 10 toes on the ground out in Chicago. Yeah, Josh, I ain't front. I could hardly believe that when you said there's no gods in Chicago in 2012 when, I known Allah Jihad. Man, 92? So, District 120 said, I know it wasn't nothing where I was in Illinois. As Reed said, the God told me to buy the book by Allah Jihad and teach from it. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know who those brothers are. A lot of those places, you got places that look, they still dealing with their first nine-born, man. I'm talking about trying to get first nine-born. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, like I said, man, I'm going to get down to this action. Man, so I can hit y'all with some music. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Jasim, I'm about to call my daughter right now. See if she got me on deck. I mean, tell her, listen, man, go pencil me in right now. Yeah, Joe Self hit a point. Only book you should teach from is your own book of life. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, like I said, man, let me get down to this action. If I be talking to y'all too long and my energy go down, I'm like primed right now. I feel it. That this is the time for me to put bars in the chat. You understand what I'm saying? D. Christian said, what time are we doing live? You know what it is? I haven't been on the clock in decades, man. So when I try to do it at a particular time, then I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't even, which is not good, but I don't even rest really by schedule. So it's like if I might say, look, I'm gonna do it at this time every day, but then on some days, I didn't go to rest until an hour or two before that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm gonna work on that, you know what I mean, getting a regular jump off. I kinda like 7. I kinda like 7 o'clock, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, look, as long as we keep it like this and we keep it building, you understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I guess we reached that point where, y'all brothers as the viewers, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta click like and share it on y'all page and however they do all that, you know what I'm saying? And we keep it pushing. But most definitely we'll be back in effect tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might actually catch me on Instagram tonight. We see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Because after this session, another session, you know what I'm saying? But, peace to everybody. We had a good class today. This time, I'm pressing the button for real. Did I press it? Oh, snap. Now you can't press it. Wait. It won't let me out. Look at that. See what happens? Now you can't leave. See? Lock me in. See? District 120, you a funny guy, man. You funny guy, man. John Sim said when I came on, they were doing the daily national fear announcements. Hold up, man. How I get out of here, man? Yeah, I'm in the box. Yes. Nah, this can't be had. Listen. See, that's how I know, man. See, when I'm telling y'all, man, word is life, man. Word is life. Shit, now they even been talking about what I was talking about today, man. I get out of here, man. I think I gotta just quit the whole program or something.